to give it as much as a caveat as I can to try and protect my perspective, here's my message to everybody. Don't just read the bumper stickers. Go on the websites of everybody you are considering voting for. And I would say join their email list. See what they're telling you on a constant basis. Start comparing them to each other. How are they talking to you? How are they treating you? I will never tell you, from this platform who you should be voting for. In fact, I don't tell anyone what they should do medically. We are just simply trying to put up information. But start actually getting involved. Show our politicians that you are on their email list, that you do care, and respond to them. Tell them, I don't like that email you just sent me. You think I'm an idiot? I'm not a third grader. That wasn't a thorough conversation. I want a real answer to what's going on. We need to get involved in this system, and we need to benefit those that are running to represent us when they actually represent us, when they actually listen to us, when they actually speak to us. If we don't get involved, if we don't vote with our dollars, if we don't show that interest, that it's on us when this system closes us out. It's going to be on us when we find ourselves in prison. We can't blame anybody but ourselves if we knew we could have done more, if we could have gone one step further and got ourselves involved in the conversation. That's all we can ask for, is we need to get involved and then respond to those that are speaking to us intelligently. That's all I can say. Get involved with Biden, with Trump, with DeSantis, or anybody else that you think represents you, and start asking them the hard questions. Start demanding answers to things you care about. If you don't like what you're hearing, take that seriously.
Great advice. I'm really enjoying this race, and I've never actually heard a politician talk like RFK has. I find it really refreshing. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. Final thoughts, Del, and how can people follow you, support you, the whole nine?
Well, my final thoughts is, I am incredibly hopeful because we have seen, as we've said so many times in this dialogue today, a percentage of humanity is awake that was not awake just 3 years ago, a large percentage. I believe that we now, in some of these conversations, when we talk about medical freedom, I believe we may be near over the 50% mark, which is far more than has ever changed the politics of a nation. If I know that you are well aware of the work by Edward Griffin, who talks about, I think, somewhere between 13 and 15% is all the consensus that was needed to ever make a massive change in the direction of a nation. We are well beyond that. When I look at medical freedom, 30% in America rejected the narrative that our government spent $10 billion propagating to us through every news channel 24 hours a day that this vaccine was safe and effective. It never proved to be the case. But 30% was not affected by that. They rejected it, even when their jobs were put on the line. This is such an incredible stand that society has made, and we're building on that, as I've said. And you look at it, and you look in the UK, I think it's something under 20% of those who are now eligible for the next booster shot have gotten it, which means that the majority of people that once believed in the NSA and the CDC and what they were saying and followed their every word are now rejecting it. These are signs of massive, massive change and a massive awakening taking place. But what I would also say is, as encouraged as I am, we now have to be more vigilant than ever. We have this tendency to think, oh, it's dropped behind us. Look how great we did. And we all look in the rearview mirror as our opponent is rearming itself just on the other side of the hill where it's retreated to. We need to prepare ourselves. There are more dark years ahead, and we need to start waking up everyone we know. I believe we are on a crash collision course with the future of humanity. It will not be decided by our children. We live in a spectacular moment right now. When you think of the ancient proverb, may you live in interesting times, this is that time. I was just at a retreat, actually doing some spiritual work myself, but I was one of the teachers there. I said to the young men there, For this you were born. For this moment you were born. There were, there were indigenous peoples at this retreat talking about the prophecies that have been made for thousands and thousands of years. And I said, this is no longer a year or a time where prophecy matters. I believe we are living in the time that was prophesied. We should not be upset about that. We should not be depressed about that. We should be thankful that we are here in this time, that the fate of the world is literally in our hands, of those of us living right now. These are the moments that make history so fantastic, that leave us longing for having been with George Washington when he decided to cross the Potomac River, to have stood with Martin Luther King when he stood up against insurmountable odds and rejection and brought about civil rights. These are not moments we will reflect on in our past. It is happening to us right now. We are the generation that will be written about. If freedom reigns across this world 5 to 10 years from now, it will be only because we all stood together and stood for what every founding father has ever believed in: our sanctity, our singularity, our independence, our power, our sovereignty. It's upon us right now. I believe we all have a destiny. I think we were born for this moment. And I want us to cherish this moment and the warrior inside of every one of us. The DNA of every great freedom fighter that has ever existed is coursing in our veins right now and asking us to write those new pages in the history book that every generation will look back on and say, boy, those seemed like insurmountable odds. How did guys like Brian Rose and Del Bigtree and Mickey Willis and Joe Rogan and all of those people we don't know that just talk to their neighbors, how did it happen? How did they do it? It happened because freedom and truth always wins.
Well, amen to that, Del Bigtree. I agree. These are exciting times, and we are the people, and anybody listening and resonating with us, you are them as well. And the next 5 or 10 years are going to get very spicy. But like you said, what a great time to be alive, and what a great chance to finally use everything you've been preparing for. So we're ready. We'll be broadcasting. We'll be here, and I know you will too. And again, just shout out Del, because you've been there from the beginning. You've never wavered. Now it's starting to make sense a little bit more to me why you don't waver, and I see it now, which is great. So you're a tremendous asset. We thank you. Just wanted to tell everybody to follow you. It's thehighwire.com is the best place.
Correct.
And you're on Twitter as well, and soon to be on YouTube, or you're on YouTube and playing around with that, which is good.
Yeah. You can follow me at Del Bigtree too for my personal statements that are not restricted by my nonprofit.
I'm looking forward to those. All right. Bless you, sir. Thanks so much. Let's connect in person sometime and do this like in studio here or in Texas. All right?
I would love that. Take care, brother.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Everybody else, thank you so much. We'll see you next time on London Real. Bye. So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator, by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.